and we have some catching up to do. So yesterday, yeah, it is yesterday. It's 4 a.m. in the morning, about to take off. Yesterday, we delivered the load that we had pretty much in New Orleans. I can't remember exactly what they called the city, but it was New Orleans. It was like the outskirts of it. Got that done. Then we basically took 10 west back over to Westlake, Louisiana, and we picked up a load at Westlake Chemical. So we did this one a while back as well. They're really strict on filming, so we couldn't take the camera, couldn't show anything. But some crazy stuff happened there. So last time they provided us with the flame retarding clothing. When we booked this load, the agent said, you know, you'll need a hard hat and safety glasses, but they'll provide the respirator and the flame retardant clothing. I was like, yeah, no big deal. They did it last time. You know, we know the deal. So we get there and we go to check in, and she says, I don't have flame retarding clothing for you guys. If you want, about 5 or 10 minutes down the road, there's a shop that sells it. It's about $25 each. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to start taking the truck down places that aren't truck routes over to, you know, some small business. Like, yeah, the place might be like 5 or 10 minutes down the road, but you know, who's to say that you're going to be able to get a truck in there and you know, not get jammed up? So I was like, hey, if that's the case, I mean, it's no biggie. We'll just call the agent and we'll have to cancel the load. You know, we're just not going to get into a wild goose chase to go get flame retarding clothing, because you know, we were told that they would provide it, and they did last time. It was not an issue. And I guess the fact of the matter was they ran out of flame retarding clothing, so like they have them and they still like lend it out to you, but they were just out today. We were pretty close to the end. So they have this like a little driver lounge area. It's like a little shed that you would buy at like Home Depot, but they have an AC wall unit in there and a few chairs. So I was like, why don't I just wait in there and Liz can go in and pick up the load? You know, no worries. She can drive without me. You know, it's literally like a quarter of a mile on the property, and you hang a left into this little bay, and they load you with one of the ramps that they pull up to your truck. So as we were walking in, the security guard, we were gonna give them the option of like, one of us can go in and one can stay out here. She called and said, yeah, because she was like, yeah, just give me a few, I'll see if I can track one down and let you know, and I'll give you a call. So as we were walking in to present that option to her, she called and said that they only had one. So Liz suited up and she went in there, and I stayed in the driver's lounge, and I was actually talking to a lady that was in there, and her husband worked for Landstar. So when we were walking in, I walked by, he had a really nice Peterbilt, nice blue Peterbilt, had his own trailer. Apparently that guy has been with Landstar for like 17 years, has 1 million safe miles, probably more than that by now. But you know, so we had a nice conversation while we were waiting for the trucks that we were supposed to be in to get loaded and come back to pick us up. So that was awesome. And then basically we got down the road. There's a Love's like 17 miles down the road. It was the first big truck stop. So we pulled in here to scale, and then we decided we wanted to shower here. So we fueled, showered, scaled, then we just hit this parking spot and just didn't leave. Got some sleep, figured we just get an early start of the day, and we're gonna get some miles in. And now you guys are all caught up, so from here on out, you know, we'll film some here and there when we get to places, but that's the adventure so far. So that was Liz's first solo pickup. Second time we've been to that place. This is the first time we've run into any issues like that, but still a good place. It's just heavy, but right now that just seems to be the name of the game. Drive slower, get better fuel economy, and snagging the good rates, I guess. But all right, we're gonna get down the road. I'll pick up a little bit, and yeah, hopefully we can knock out some of the miles. We got 1,137 miles to go. Well, it's been a while since our last updates. We got about 900 miles in. So far we have 330 left to go. We got to get there by 8 o'clock. It is 1:30 and we have not crossed over the time zones. So we need to pull a little pep in the step. Got to get there, but shouldn't be too bad. We'll get some miles in while there's nobody on the road. And we'll probably film when we get to the delivery. Well, we made it pretty much at the time that we told them.
Hey, there's the David trailer.
Yeah. That was the guy that was.
Well, I
he
guess
got
that's
in and
the
out.
company that.
GSS, is this us?
Yeah. It says Green Sustain here.
Yeah. Green Sustainable Solutions.
Arriving at 681 Jack Burlingame Drive.
And set ourselves up back in. Oh, that's a pothole. Let's go slow. Alright. Yep. Alright, let's swing around here. Get the trailer straight, because chances are it's going to be one of these docks over here.
Are you doing all this with Andy?
Yeah, I think so. That's who called me yesterday.
Yeah. She always asks me.
Lady can't drive. Woman's got to be a dispatcher. All right, so we're lined up. Pretty much hit any of the spots, so we're gonna go check in now. Check out our new website at nolucktrucking.com. On the main page, you'll find a link to our Discord community. When you join, you'll have access to text and voice channels where you can connect to a community of drivers. If you click on the shop link, you'll find our new t-shirt design. We're selling them for $25 shipped. Huge shout out to Sozo for designing the shirt and the website, and for bringing this all to life. All right, so we are done with that load. We're at this little truck stop. We just went inside, used the restroom, bought some snacks, and I just wanted to kind of give an update. So the last video was titled "Customer Wouldn't Load Us Because We're a Team" or something to that effect. So I did some digging, because like none of the stuff that people were saying, like yeah, maybe if you squinted you could make it make sense, but realistically, nothing was like so definitive that it would just be like a hard no for the team, for a team. So I did a lot of researching. So I'm on a couple of Facebook groups for Landstar things, and I searched the agency code, which was IKK. So what that brought up is this guy posts a bunch of these like really spicy rates out of like Louisiana, Mississippi area, and they're paying like this one was paying $7.50 or something like that a mile, and it was about 1,000 miles when you added all the stops. So for a weekend, you know, like a little over $7 grand, we were like, absolutely, you know, like I wanted to call and see what the catch was, because like anytime you get a crazy wild rate like that, there's always a catch, you know, whether it's like you have to drop your trailer for 2 days while they load it, and then you drop it for 3 days at the receiver while they unload it and stuff, so you're without a trailer for like, you know,
7 to 10 days or whatever. So usually those rates are like really inflated. So mostly wanted to call and see what the catch was, because I'm not naive enough to think that there's just going to be this like magic load that's out there that's going to be paying $7.50 a mile, and it's just a pick this up and go drop this with no catch. So what it is these loads that this guy posts are bait to get you to call in. And then if you have a 2008 and newer truck and you're pulling a company van, then he will recruit you into this dedicated style run where it is forced dispatch. You go to Iowa and you do a training course, and then you pick up one of his trailers, which are especially outfitted with a like a crane rig type deal up on the ceiling, and it runs the length of the trailer, so it's movable, and you lift up. So from what I have read online from the people that have done his loads, is you're either going to do hospital beds, those like big elaborate ones that like tilt and lift and raise up and everything like that, which weigh a lot, or you're doing alignment machines for body shops and automotive shops, and they load your whole entire trailer, and then you get dispatched on where to take them, and then you basically take them out of the trailer and either assist or your driver unloading like fully. So you use the crane to like move it to the edge of the trailer and drop it down to ground level, and then I'm assuming pallet jack or whatever. So the loads don't exist, or maybe they do exist, but you're not getting that specific load. So there was no way that even if I was a solo driver that I would have been able to book that Mississippi to Florida run for $7,000, because that load probably doesn't exist. It was either made up, or maybe that's an idea of one of the runs, but from what I understand, it's all forced dispatch. You wait around, they send you in to get loaded, you wait for a dispatch, and then wherever you end up, it's your responsibility to find a backhaul back to Mississippi to get loaded again, and then start it all over again. So he doesn't do teams because there's really not the freight volume for a team. But also, I mean, it's still a little weird, but I also don't like when agents they're disingenuous with this. They just post these like bait and switch type loads, which is no better than like the brokers that repost the loads outside of Landstar onto the Landstar board, and they give you this crazy rate, and then when you call, it's either a mistake or they say the customer won't pay it because the customer was never going to pay that much. So I really think that that's kind of disingenuous, but I wanted to give an update on what I have learned. And it sounds like the guy that actually got loaded at Westlake that's coming here to where we just delivered, it sounds like he's done a load or two for that agency and used their trailer and stuff, but his wife was saying that it kind of, you know, was a lot of physical labor. And at this point, man, if you go anywhere, if you go to like Florida, the inside of the trailer is going to be like 130 degrees, and no thank you. And you still have to drive the rest of your shift and do multiple stops a day, or, you know, wait a day and deliver the next day and stuff. So I don't know, it's not something that we would want to do anyways, but I just, like, I wasn't mad that he said no teams, but I just wanted to know why, you know, just out of curiosity's sake. So, and when all he said was, oh, the customer doesn't want teams, instead of like telling me the actual reason. But yeah, I guess he's pretty covert with his information. Like, you don't even know what you're hauling until you get there, except for, like I said, me doing all this research. I dug back about 4 years in post, and there was about 10 different posts with that agency code, and I read through all of them, so kind of gathered all the information. I don't know how true it is, because like I said, it's not first-hand knowledge, so take that for you know what it is. But that kind of solves the mystery a little more for me. Is that type of freight just isn't set up as a team. But most of the other places like let us choose what we want to run. You know, like if it's not a team load but we still want it, I mean, nobody has ever had a problem with it. But I guess the fact that you'd have to get over to Iowa and do the training class, and there would be, I don't know, you probably wouldn't want to have 2 people go through the class or put them up in a hotel or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. But like I said, it's kind of a little bit of a bait and switch. But hey, maybe there's somebody in our audience that has ran for the guy, and maybe you can give us some positives and tell us what it's about. But that's what I've learned from my research. So I think we are going to end the video here. I know there wasn't a ton because we couldn't film at Westlake, and there really wasn't much to film over there. So I figured I would give the update on the not loading the team title that we put on the last video as well. So that'll kind of clear the air, and everyone can stop guessing that it's detention or layover. That was my guess, but then some people were saying like some receivers will only allow 1 driver on the property or whatever. But yeah, it seems unlikely. They would definitely be able to give us that reason. But we're gonna end it here. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.